Hi everyone. So I am today with Qvitta Chheda and she is the founder of The Right Mind. I will let her give her introduction herself. It is really good to have her here and let's begin our conversation. Qvitta, can you please give your introduction?
Hi Pranali, hi everyone. So I'm a psychologist and I'm founder of Right Mind, as Pranali said. I've been in this field since 2010, and it's been my privilege to be able to guide millions and millions of people, to transform their lives and to help them come out of their depressions, anxiety, the mental health issues that they are going with. And I'm also a certified EFT practitioner, a certified Heal Your Life facilitator, which is a philosophy by Lewis Hay. And I'm also a graphologist and art therapist, and I am one of the luckiest one to have been converting my passion into my profession. So I just feel very blessed to be able to do that, and thank you so much for having me here.
So that was great to know about you. And I think let's begin with the conversation because today's topic is really, really associated with almost everybody. Women, how they are starting off their career, they are going on with their career, and they are sometimes struggling with the thoughts they have. So these are a few common thoughts everybody has in their mind. So, first of all, when a woman begin their career, so at that time, women is often expected that they should prioritize their household duties, their family duties over their career. So, what do you think, Vita? How do they manage, and how should they manage, and how should they begin thinking? What should be the thought process to balance both of them?
Rightly said, Pranali. Majorly women go through that. But one thing that I would like to point out is that you can never fulfill anyone's expectations, however hard you try. So, when we just try to go out of our way to fulfill someone's expectation, we are ultimately going to be disappointed because कहीं ना कहीं तो कुछ कम रह ही जाता है. So, पूरी तरह से we are never able to do that. Rather, what I feel is, have you ever thought of your own expectations? Why not fulfill them? So, the thing is that if you are having this struggle कि किसको चूज करना चाहिए क्या करना चाहिए my first question is why not choose both. हमें दोनों में से एक चूज ही क्यों करना है? Who has told us that we have to choose something? We can choose both of them. Women have always been doing multitasking, always. And it is completely your belief that brings this struggle into picture, because where you believe that what if मैं यहाँ पे कम पड़ जाऊंगी, what if मुझे दोनों में से एक चूज करना पड़ेगा. What about the women who are successfully managing house and family? You take up any of our Bollywood actors today. Okay, there's so many Bollywood actresses. There's Sudha Murthy, who is, you know, way ahead from our generation, right? और वो तब से दोनों चीज़ मैनेज करते आ रहे हैं. She never had to choose. She always encourages women to, take both of it together, and you can do it. So I feel somewhere it is your own fear which does not allow you to go beyond, what you are seeing, the societal norms and all. Societal norms sometimes just become an excuse many times where we are not having that strength to, take our potential where we can actually take. स्ट्रगल कहाँ नहीं होता है. इवन वेन वी गिव एग्जाम्स वी स्ट्रगल, राइट? इट्स नॉट ईजी. जब हम नीट के एग्जाम्स देते हैं, कैट एग्जाम्स देते हैं, सीए क्लियर करना चाहते हैं, तो हाउ मच टू बी फेस. तो तभी हम ये क्यों नहीं सोचते हैं दैट ओ आई हैव टू फेस दिस, आई हैव टू फेस दैट टाइम वी जस्ट टेक इट इन द फेस एंड स्टिल गो फॉर इट, राइट? सो वाई गिव अप ओवर हियर? वाई डू वी कंप्लेन एंड ब्लेम हियर कि मुझे ये फेस करना पड़ रहा है, वो फेस करना पड़ रहा है? Just be focused on what you want, and everything starts falling in place.
Yeah, that was really well said, actually, and it's absolutely true. Many of times, mothers have this guilt in their mind that I am leaving my child for my work. So, what about this guilt? Is it really a guilt, or is it really we are pressurizing ourselves too much, or we are too much into patriarchal thoughts of our mind, which society has imposed on us?
Right. So the guilt comes from the need of being perfect. Perfect in everything. Perfect as a mother, perfect as an employee, perfect as a daughter in law, perfect as a wife. And that pressure which we put on ourselves, that starts affecting in every area of our life. It is just seen, right? तो अगेन किसने बोला कि तुम्हें हर चीज़ में परफेक्ट होना है? Why is it not okay to make mistakes? Because you're also being a mother for the first time. मदर पे कोई पीएचडी नहीं किए, कहीं पढ़ाया नहीं गया है कि यू नो हाउ पेरेंटिंग हैज़ टू बी डन एंड ऑल. तो मिस्टेक्स होने वाले हैं, इट इज़ ओके टू मेक मिस्टेक्स, राइट? What is it that we would want to teach our kids also, that it is okay to make mistakes? Because if we are not teaching them that, how are they going to face failures in life? So that's the first thing. And usually the guilt comes because, again, as a mother, you take it up as your sole responsibility to bring up the child, to take care of the child, and all. That is when the guilt comes in. But once we start believing that my child is fine even without me, and I am going to be available for my child as soon as I'm done with this work, and that is when I would want to give my child the quality time. You know, your child does not require you to be with him 24/7. Your child only requires you to give that quality time to him. अगर आप 24/7 आपके बच्चे के साथ हो, but you are not with him completely, you're just around him, and you are in your own thoughts and you know in your own work, how is that helping anyways? But 1 or 2 hours of that quality time which you give to your child, where you're completely mentally, physically, emotionally available for your child, that is it. The bond that you make in those 2 hours is way more stronger than the bond that you will make by being 24/7 with your child. Because back of the mind, अगर आप ये सोच रहे हो कि अरे मेरा ये अपॉर्चुनिटी चला गया, अरे मेरा ये काम रह गया, हाउ विल आई डू, नाउ आई एम जस्ट अ मदर, अब मुझे जो करना था वो हो नहीं रहा है, यू नो, ऑल दोज रिग्रेट्स दैट यू आर हैविंग, unconsciously you are passing all those to your child as well. Because कहीं ना कहीं वो frustration निकलेगा, कहीं ना कहीं हमें गुस्सा आएगा, we will just throw that tantrum on our child, whereas उसकी कोई ज़रूरत ही नहीं होती. So I feel that spend quality time, less time but quality time. You know, when you are with your child, just be with your child. और इससे आप अपने बच्चे को भी तो यही सिखा रहे हो कि it is possible to manage everything. And don't give up on your dreams, because when you do that, when you leave your job and stay at home to look after your child and all, in a way the message that you're giving is that you know you have to give up on your dreams, because दोनों चीज़ नहीं मिल सकती है. So when you learn to work on your guilt, वो guilt आपका बच्चा नहीं दे रहा है, वो आप खुद create कर रहे हो. So when you learn to work on your guilt, you're actually teaching your child that sky is the limit and nothing is impossible. तुम्हें जो चाहिए तुम्हें मिल सकता है. You need to have faith in yourself.
That's really true. एंड समटाइम्स नहीं, लेकिन होता क्या है कि समटाइम्स इफ देर इज अ न्यू मैरिज कमिंग अप, ओके, सो द गर्ल इज ऑलवेज टोल्ड कि ठीक है, यू वर एम्बिशियस, यू हैव डन योर करियर, एंड शी इज already at a job somewhere, she is working somewhere, but still people, family tell her that try learning, to try learning a bit in the kitchen also, in the household also, and try doing that also along with your job, along with your career. But what happens is, if that girl is too ambitious, how will she manage? Matlab, she doesn't feel the importance of household duties in her life. She feels that it's that's not completely my job. But family doesn't understand it. They expect her to do everything together, to manage her everything, and that expectation is what becomes the burden. So what do you think about it? How can somebody manage that?
First of all, I think that managing a house is a life skill, and it is not only a role of a woman or a man. Combining like both of them together can do this, role, and that is how the marriage life can be very smooth and easy going. So that's the first thing. But today what is happening is, because of this tradition that has been coming, and because of the society we live in, jahan pe women are expected to do a certain roles and men are expected to do a certain roles, आज women are becoming more and more rebellious towards कि अभी हमें ये करना ही नहीं है. But I think COVID was one of the best phase in everyone's life, which taught us that these things are equally important and these are life skills. It will help you to become independent. When we think कि ये अभी हम ऐसे समझने लगे कि ये काम बहुत छोटे हैं, like ज़रूरत नहीं है, I'm way beyond such kind of work. But it's not like that. We all need to eat food, right? We all want to be in a clean environment. We all like cleanliness around, hygiene around. So these are, you can definitely keep helpers for this. पर ये काम करने से तुम छोटे नहीं होते हो. इनफैक्ट आई फील दैट दीज आर द थिंग्स विच टीच यू द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट वैल्यूज इन लाइफ. The values of cleanliness, the values of being grounded, the values of being compassionate, empathetic, showing your love and affection. We can do all that through food as well. So firstly, इससे तुम छोटे नहीं हो रहे. That's the first thing. So it is important कि तुम ये सीखो, and it is not that difficult to manage both of it, but it becomes difficult when in your mind you have had this block कि मुझसे दोनों नहीं हो सकता है. So that block comes from here. And when we make that block here, that is what we see in our real life also, that I'm struggling. But जब वो block यहाँ से निकाल देते हो, then it becomes very smooth and easy to manage both the things. And I think, as I said, like COVID ने तो हमें बताया ही है. So that is the time when males also started getting involved in the kitchen. And they also started doing things, that like cooking सीख लिया था, mopping and dusting and everything had started at that time. So if you talk about this new marriage और फिर ये सब होता है वो सब होता है, again my point is that if you truly believe that you can manage both of it, then it is possible. It's not that it is not possible. Everything comes down to what you believe, what are your values. Everything comes down to that. And it is important, हमें ऐसे लगता है कि this feminism thing has now become so much in the face कि we are not going to do this, we are not going to do that and all. जहाँ पे एक तरफ हम इक्वालिटी की बात करते हैं और दूसरी तरफ हम वो भूल भी जाते हैं. सो इक्वालिटी का मतलब ही ये होता है कि तुम सब साथ में लेके चलो, where you are not putting anyone down, when you are not feeling superior or inferior. So कोई काम करने से तुम नीचे नहीं हो रहे हो. So it only means to take everything together. Okay. So it is very important to understand that in a marriage. कि दोनों जब साथ में मिलके करेंगे तो it is going to be very easy and smooth.
Absolutely right. But होता क्या है कि sometimes what you said कि sometimes we become rebellious कि नहीं हमें ये काम करना ही नहीं है, that is not my task, मतलब we are too small for this, we are going to become too small if we do that task. So उस केस में होता क्या है कि sometimes we bring in the concept of self love. And that self-love, when we start working over that self-love, we start showing that we love ourselves, self-love is important. At that time, sometimes we are misinterpreted for selfishness. So what is the correct concept of this?
फर्स्टली सेल्फ लव कभी आपको ये सिखाएगा ही नहीं कि कोई काम करने से आप छोटे होते हो. दैट्स द फर्स्ट थिंग. Self love is so overrated today because the most easiest meaning that we understand about self love is to pamper ourselves, to you go out with friends, have good food, take vacations, uh, you know uh, just me time and all that is self love. That is what we understand. But actually, self love is the way you talk to yourself in your head. So, when you are facing a challenging situation, how do you react to your own self at that time? Are you criticizing yourself? When you make some mistakes, do you keep taunting yourself कि तुझसे हमेशा ही गलती होती है, तुझसे ये हो ही नहीं पाता है? Why don't you just leave it? Or many a times when you are not able to achieve something, do you tell yourself कि फुकट का ही तू पड़ती है ना, इसमें पता ही तो है नहीं हो पाता है तुझसे? Then why do you put yourself out there? क्यों करती है ये सब? So the way you talk to yourself is very very important, and especially during the challenging times, इट इज़ योर रियल टेस्ट कि तब तुम खुद को कैसे संभालते हो, तब तुम खुद से कैसे बात करते हो. बिकॉज जब सब कुछ अच्छा चल रहा है तभी तो एनी वेज यू गोइंग टू बी वेरी पॉजिटिव एंड ऑप्टिमिस्टिक एंड यू गोइंग टू जस्ट बोस्ट योर सेल्फ. बट व्हेन थिंग्स आर नॉट गोइंग राइट, दैट इज द टाइम यू नीड टू सी कि तब हम खुद से कैसे बात करते हैं. आर वी getting so depressed कि just forget it, I don't want to do it, I feel just so helpless, so vulnerable, so weak? Or is that the time where you are trying to pull yourself up that it's okay? It's okay, I know right now you're not feeling good, but ये time भी निकल जाएगा. And you have been amazing and we will be back there. Why not just take some time? Because when our loved ones, any near or dear ones, when they go through a very low phase in their life, do we criticize them at that time, or are we just trying to be as much supportive as we can? Are we trying to give them as much love as we can? That, you know, it's okay, I am there for you, don't worry, we'll go through this together. That's exactly how you need to talk to yourself. सेल्फिशनेस तब कहा जाता है जब if you are a person who has always been going out of your way to do things for others and always kept others as your priority because of the need of getting the love and affection, the importance, the value from them, which you might have or might have not got to the expectations that you have. But when you realize, when you're doing all that, you are draining yourself in that process many times. So why not give that love, affection and importance to yourself जो आप दूसरों से एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हो? बिकॉज दूसरे पता नहीं आपकी एक्सपेक्टेशन किस हद तक पूरी कर पाएंगे, right? Even if they feel that they are doing their best, maybe for you it might be less. So when you start giving it to yourself, that is when sometimes others might feel that ये तो change हो गई है, she's now looking after herself. But that is also the time when we give them that space to understand that yes, you have started taking care of yourself. Does not mean that you love them any less, does not mean that you wouldn't be there for them, does not mean that you wouldn't stand by them, does not mean that you wouldn't help them in their times of need. You're going to be there for them too, but so that you can be more available for them, or so that you can be better with what they want from you, you first need to take care of them yourself. Because if you are emotionally not feeling well, how are you going to give that emotional support to someone else? So when it comes to selfishness, when you suddenly you get this awareness and then you start bringing small little changes, people are going to take some time to accept that. And we should also be giving them that space to come around and take that time to accept. Eventually they understand that okay, this is out of self-love, because self-love is a very novel concept for our society overall. हमने हमेशा यही सीखा है कि दूसरों की मदद करो, खुद के बारे में मत सोचो. पर तुम if there is a glass and you are just giving from that glass to everyone, ultimately the glass is going to be empty and you need to refill it. So to refill it, you also need to be a good receiver. जब दूसरे दे रहे तो आप ले भी रहे हो और खुद को दे भी रहे हो. Only then you can be a great giver. You just can't be giving and stop receiving. तो कब तक चलेगा? Ultimately the glass is going to be empty.
What you said कि the space that we need to give it to the people around you who need some time to accept the new version of ourselves. So during this phase they are going to take their time to accept us, but during that period we get too much of depressed, stressed, because reason is they are taking that time, and naturally we wouldn't be having so much of patience for somebody to come around.
Correct.
Yeah. So that patience level sometimes really disturbs the mind.
So, firstly, before accepting others, we need to start accepting ourselves. And that comes when we start getting connected to ourselves. So many times, when you ask people that, okay, just write down your top 5 wishes, it might be very easy to write one, two, three. When you ask four, five, don't know. Or if you ask them to write down your top 5 strengths, you ask them to write about their top 5 weaknesses or negative points, they can write 10. It is that easy because again we live in a society जहाँ पे negatives बहुत easily बताए जाते हैं, बट जहाँ पे बात अप्रिशिएट करने की आती है तो वहाँ पे ऐसे समझा जाता है कि अरे चने के झाड़ पे चढ़ जाएगा. इवन हम अपने बच्चों को भी कई बार इसलिए इतना अप्रिशिएट नहीं करते कि भाई बस क्रिटिसिज्म भी बहुत ज़रूरी है उस हिसाब से. सो इन दैट प्रोसेस समवेयर वी हैव नेवर टेकन आउट दैट टाइम टू कनेक्ट विथ आवर सेल्फ कि वॉट इज़ इट दैट आई ट्रूली वॉन्ट, वट इज़ इट दैट मेक्स मी हैप्पी. हमने हमेशा वो हैप्पीनेस का जो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है ना दूसरों के कंधे पे डाल के रखा हुआ होता है कि only if you get good marks I'm going to be very happy, only if you get me this diamond set I'm going to be very happy, only if you can do this much for me, get a car or a house or do some small nice gesture, take me out for a date or a movie, I'm going to be very happy. So हमने वो हैप्पीनेस की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी हमेशा दूसरों को ही दे के रखी होती है. वी अल्टीमेटली डोंट नो ओनली कि हमें एक्चुअली खुशी किससे मिलती है. बिकॉज चलो मूवी लेके गए, फॉर हाउ लॉन्ग आर यू हैप्पी? इट्स वेरी मोमेंटरी. एंड अल्टीमेटली the other person is going to get tired of taking that responsibility of your happiness. And so it is so important for us to get connected to ourselves so that we understand what do I like, what do I not like, what makes me happy, what are my strengths, what are my coping mechanisms, what triggers me, how do I react during that time, how should I be reacting otherwise. कभी हम वो पॉज बटन लाते ही नहीं हमारी लाइफ में बिकॉज वी लिव इन अ जनरेशन जहाँ पे हम सब भाग रहे हैं, बस दौड़ रहे हैं. देयर इज नो पॉज बटन टू रिफ्लेक्ट, टू इंट्रोस्पेक्ट. एंड अंटिल यू डोंट डू दैट, हाउ वुड यू गेट कनेक्टेड टू योर सेल्फ? सेल्फ लव का सबसे पहला फर्स्ट प्रिंसिपल इज सेल्फ एक्सेप्टेंस एंड सेल्फ अप्रूवल. Accept and approve yourself just the way you are. And is that easy? Whenever you tell someone to accept and approve, immediately the question comes कि हाँ पर ये चीज़ें अगर मेरे में ठीक हो जाए ना, then I can accept and approve myself. I don't think these are good habits that I'm having. तो इसके साथ मैं खुद को कैसे अप्रूव करूँ? मतलब मैं इतनी लेज़ी हो जाती हूँ, इवन इफ आई डोंट वांट टू, आई बिकम लेज़ी. मुझे प्रोक्रेस्टिनेट नहीं करना है तो भी करने लगती हूँ. आई एम नॉट एबल टू टेक एक्शंस. मुझे कितना कुछ करना है, आई नो आई हैव द पोटेंशियल, पर मैं वो कर ही नहीं पा रही हूँ. So with all these things, how can I approve myself? How can I accept? But you have criticized yourself all these years. Has that worked? Has that changed anything? If anything has happened, it has only put you down. It has only shaken up your moral. It has only shaken up your confidence. So why not once try and accept कि हाँ ये चीज़ है, अब इसमें से आगे कैसे बढ़ूँ? So that's the first thing. And when you tell me that there is this phase जहाँ पे लोग accept नहीं कर रहे हैं, and you know at that time it is very easy for us to go back to our old habits जो पहले थी कि again become a giver कि चलो तुम्हें जो अच्छा लगता है वही करती हूँ, let me keep my things aside. But that is also the time जहाँ पे आप खुद के लिए हर रोज़ just take out 5 to 10 minutes, look into the mirror. आज तक हमने मिरर में सिर्फ इसलिए देखा होता है just to get dressed, comb our hair, do some makeup और ठीक लग रहा है नहीं लग रहा है बस इसके लिए. But we have never looked deep into our eyes. and we have never tried to get connected to ourselves. So, mirror is basically a window to your subconscious mind. Whatever is going in your subconscious mind is directly shown in the mirror. You know that a quote from fairy tale which used to say, mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the most fairest of us all? So mirror never lies, right? जो भी आपके deepest feelings होंगे ना वो mirror के सामने आ जाते हैं. And that is why this is one of the best ways where you can get connected to yourself. So talk in front of the mirror, talk about your insecurities, talk about your weak points, talk about your strengths. Appreciate yourself in front of the mirror. जो appreciation आप दूसरों से expect करते हो वो खुद को दो. When you are giving that to yourself, you automatically gain that strength and support which you need from others. Become your own support. Tell yourself how amazing you are. Tell yourself that how beautifully you have, faced this challenging situation. And that is how, when you start getting connected, you automatically start feeling good. Start feeling good about yourself. And when you are feeling good, what you're going to give out is also a very positive vibe. But when you see that others are not expecting, and you start feeling bad about yourself or for them, that being resentful or having grudges for them, you're giving more of negative vibe to them, which is only going to increase their negativity towards you. Only love can be the best healing force ever.
You just mentioned the energy and the vibes that we are giving, which comes from the emotion that we are having inside our subconscious, right? So, is it like that if even if we can hide those emotions, if we keep a fake smile, if we keep a fake confidence?
So, for that, let me give you an example. Supposing you are meeting a stranger who is very well dressed, looks very good, very presentable, and yet sometimes do you get this vibe कि कुछ तो सही नहीं लग रहा है. While you're talking, you're not able to connect. You feel something, some negative energy coming, or you just feel like, okay, इतना बात किया बस हो गया. Now I would want to just leave. He's very well dressed. He is very presentable. So सब कुछ सही है, and yet why do you get that vibe? So that is the energy. Same way when you enter a house, maybe everything is, maybe it's just there are just these walls. There's no furniture, nothing. Okay, and yet when you enter the house, you don't feel good. You just feel uncomfortable, restless, and you would just want to leave from that place as soon as possible. सब कुछ सही है, कुछ भी नहीं है वहाँ पे. Then why do you feel that? It's the energy. It's the energy of the place.
Yes, definitely. And yes, energies do speak and they speak louder.
Yes.
However, we try to put out ourselves, but energy reflects. But sometimes this energy reflects also reflects when women are told that why do you need to earn? So many people think that women should be employed only out of necessity.
Mm.
So the thing is, if somebody says that your husband is earning appropriately, then why do you need to earn? Just manage the household duties and everything. Don't take the stress of earning. So is it really worthy to skip our career just because the bread earner in our family is really well to do?
First of all, uh, when we choose to take our career ahead, earning is just a byproduct, I feel. We are doing that because that gives us happiness. That gives us a sense of individuality, that makes us independent, that also gives us growth personally, professionally, in every way. And who doesn't like to grow? So if something is giving me my sense of purpose, if something is giving me happiness, if something is giving me independence, why wouldn't I want to do that? As I said, earning in such cases might not be the primary reason, but it's a byproduct. And uh, how does it, like, who wouldn't want to have more money? If you have more money, do more good for the society. As simple as that. Give it out. You can do so much more things. Give it out to the society. Give it back. You can do so much for uh, old people or kids, and there's so many ways to spend that money in in a good way, in donations and all. So earning is just a byproduct. The important thing is does that make you happy? Are you happy? Or you know, having this career for yourself. What does the career mean to you? That is the most important thing. So it has got nothing to do with money.
But when people say this, you don't have to, you have to, it's not your necessity to earn, then why are you pressurizing yourself to earn? At that time, the person who is ambitious, okay, the person who really wants to grow, who is happy growing, then at that time, he or she expects emotional support from the family members. They are not getting that emotional support. Then how do they take this thing as that I am not getting emotional support from my family? Then how do I grow? This is the question which comes into the mind.
Many times, no, when such question comes up, women usually don't understand only that they are doing this because it makes them happy. And it is not uh, responded in that way. So the way it is told to other people is like, so what if I want to earn some money? So what? Doesn't matter even if we have so much and all. But when you put it out across in a way that I am earning because this really makes me happy, it gives me a sense of purpose. It keeps me sane. It helps me maintain my mental and emotional health because I feel so much at peace. I feel so satisfied when I'm doing this work. And money is a byproduct of it, which is just coming, okay, along with what I am doing. And what is wrong in having more money? That is what I would say. So this is just coming because of what I'm doing. But the main reason that I am into this is because, so for me also, when I was not earning, I felt that I just went crazy because I felt as if my individuality was lost. And this is what makes me, my work. It is a part of it. Just the way you can't be without family, you also can't be without work, right? You can have two priorities in your life. It is always not necessary that only one thing has to be your priority. There can be two things. If you are having two kids, are you ever going to be able to choose between them? कि सबसे ज्यादा प्यार किसे करते हो? You can't, right? A mother can't choose between the two kids. They both are equally important. Same way, why can't career and family both be equally important, right? So I feel that
Right.
there is no need to choose. And when you explain it in this way, your only work is to put across what you feel, what you believe. Whether they want to take it, they don't want to take it, again, leave it up to them. प्रॉब्लम तब आता है जब हम एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि मैं इतना समझा रही हूँ और तुम समझ नहीं रहे हो. So just understand. Why don't we also accept that they are also coming from some belief system? They are also coming from some perspective, and it's okay for them to have theirs. When I'm having mine, you can have yours. So both being in their own space is good.
That was really great, and it was a awesome conversation. It was really many of the belief system which even I had in my mind have been broken, and like it was really that how do we define the things correctly? How do we not get disturbed by the people around them because of
Mhm.
their energies, their thoughts, their belief system, and how do we keep growing? So it was really great to have a conversation with you. Hmm.
Usually, people, whatever they say, it only triggers us when deep down we also have similar belief. When deep
Hmm.
down we also feel that it is going to be very difficult to manage both. It is better, as a woman, let me just manage this. Deep down, when we also come from those beliefs and when they just reflect that, okay, that is when the triggers happen. But most of the time, our logical mind is not ready to accept that we have these beliefs. And that is when we feel कि नहीं नहीं तुम जो कह रहे हो वो सही नहीं है. Because somewhere the struggle is going on within us also. So the moment you are very clear with what you want in your life, with your purpose and everything, automatically triggers बहुत ही कम हो जाते हैं. And it becomes easier for us to accept कि ठीक है तुम्हें अगर ऐसा नहीं लग रहा it is okay. That's fine. It becomes easy to accept when you have that clarity.
To connect with her, every detail is in the caption. You can also contact her from the link I have provided in the caption. So you can also visit that link and connect with her anytime you feel like connecting. And again, a big thank you for
Thank you,
so
Pranali. Thank you for
insightful
having me.
session. Yeah, that was a great conversation,
Yes,
and
I thoroughly
hope
enjoyed it.
I really hope that our audience loves it too.
Yes. Okay,
And
bye.
goodbye.
See you, everyone.
Yeah, bye.